Welcome everybody, Mike Hamilton from Trade Easy Way. The chart I've got here is the Nasdaq daily, and I'm currently long off the lows here. So this is my chart of the day. What the Nasdaq does, the rest of the market normally follows. Now this has been lagging the Dow and the S&Ps. Growth stocks have been beaten up and continue to be beaten up at the moment. We'll take a look at one or two later on. But so if this Nasdaq can turn around on this support from the Friday the 18th, then this stands a chance of pushing higher. Okay, quick look at the other indices. Dow is sitting up. See, the Dow is in a much more comfortable position, albeit jittery. Sitting in, you see this trend line support I've got here. So what I think might happen is we might move sideways for a longer period here until we come into this area here, at which point if we hold that, so this is midweek lows off from last week. If we come down, if we do continue lower and hold that, then we could make our way up. If we can get the volume to pull back to increase, otherwise, if we close lower and continue and continue to close lower, then coming underneath this area would drag us right down to 2022 lows. All right. In the meantime, the Nasdaq is holding up well. This has done well last week, but just not a lot of action. I think we need a deeper pullback to get this one moving. FTSE, that is not a sell signal, because this little blue green bar up there was yesterday's open and close. Unfortunately, this chart package does that. So if we can come back and hold this 7,600, I think we can push higher. Sitting on top of this structure here on the FTSE, the DAX is much more similar to the Dow in that it is holding onto support, but we could crumble lower if we break these lows and stay low. All right, and oil. I have been buying oil here. Got a 100 pip move off the lows here. Took it off. We're just grappling with this. I think we might come lower still. I think what we might do here is come and find a lower number. I think that's the most likely scenario. Come and find these February lows, the pre-war lows, and then potentially crank up. So we might see some short. We've got a strong dollar here. In fact, let me just pull up the dollar. So we've got US inflation tomorrow. So surprise, surprise, the US dollar is holding up. Now, if that continues higher and breaks this high, then that's going to put a strain on US indices, a strain to say the least. This could spell some problems for the US market or for the global markets if this dollar takes off. At the moment, we've got a strong Nasdaq on the back of a strong dollar. Let me just manage a trade here. Bear with me one moment while I just manage a stop. Yeah. So some issues out there. Gold ran up today and closed with a lower high. Well, closed. I mean, in theory, yeah, the market's still open, so it's not closed. I'll take that back. So this 1925 looks as if we might come and see that tested. If we just hold here and we don't break this 1930, then I think we can we could just break up tomorrow. Is inflation US all priced in? Well, if you go by this, potentially yes, but let's see what the outcome of tomorrow is. And let's look at a couple of things here. Volatility index pushing higher, emerging markets still not doing it under the cosh. Quick look at commodities and then we move on because I don't want to spend a lot of time here today. Wheat higher, surprise, surprise. Been talking about, we've got a gap there, but I thought these lows were viable down here at 980. And that's currently coming up for 11. Soybeans, seeing some profit taking this, really struggling up here. Corn, I just zip through the commodities. Let's look at some metals. Well, let's look at some more foodstuffs. Orange juice, talked about orange juice down here in this structure. ABC correction down here at 13.75. We're currently nearly 80, well, currently over 17. And that's typical with what we've seen in these markets. Natural gas did that a couple of times, still punching higher. Still, and this is typically a period where I would expect natural gas to come off, and it is just not having it. Okay, so demand from industry is obviously propping this up because consumer gas consumption, as we get warmer, is already dropping and has dropped. So this is pure combination of tension, supply squeeze to industry, and so on and so on. So this is that we made a new high today. Made a new high in this range, in this period. So that is not stopping, not pulling back at all. Let's coffee higher. Copper, that's interesting. High grade copper is coming off. And the silver has done the same as the gold, perked up and pulled right back. I do like silver. I do think silver is better. If we hold above this structure, I can see silver breaking the highs and beginning. Look at the volume coming up. I think this silver is looking really good. I think we're going to go up to 27 and break it. And I'm talking about in the next few days and weeks, not. I don't think it's going to take long to get up there. I'm not put off by this lower close today. I think silver and gold, etc., is good. I don't suppose anybody took orange juice, did you? Because that orange juice has a phenomenal chart. It's just a repeat of gas all over again. So we drop down here in November, back down to this support. Volume starts to pick up. And then we get this head and shoulders pattern. Let me get my pen. Shoulder, head, shoulder, neckline. And then this pullback here was definitely viable. Huge support here on the ambush zone. And then we break out of that one as well. Fantastic chart. Good one for the scrapbook. Right, stocks. Excuse me. Let's look at. Let's start off with the banks. Barclays. The volume is picking up here. It's Goldman's and JP Morgan's earnings this week. We're going to have a look at that in a minute. So we perked up here very early January and then fell off. Broke this key support here. And now we are potentially building on this support. So if I extend this one, right down to there. So as long as we stay above this structure, as long as we stay above this 140, 145, I think this is good. We need the volume to continue higher, and we need to close above 150. If we do that, I think Barclays can build, and potentially, if all goes well, if we continue to close higher, we should grind up to 245, 250 by year end, if that works out. This is a very good Fibonacci chart pattern. Right, let's look across at the other banks. Let me get my other bank list up. Lloyd's doing the same. This pullback to 43.80 appears to be getting bought. Standard Chartered is stronger. That's building. HSBC is hardly well. It had the big drop in March 7. We're not quite recovered to this high, but we look as if we could. The volume is picking up. We look as if we could go higher on that one as well. Quick look across to Goldman's while we're at it. So I was interviewed today about Goldman's, and what did I say about Goldman's? I said that in this interest rate cycle, these banks are a good sector to get involved with. Banks tend to make higher profits with interest rate rises. So this is all, even though earnings are not out yet, Goldman's is already picking up. There's the chart pattern. So if we hold above this 32,600, we are potentially going to find a runner. The volume's picking up. The chart pattern's working out. What retail investors will do, or even hedge funds will do, they will buy these lows and they will sell calls. They will sell call options to make sure they are properly hedged. So if this does roll over, they will profit on the call sells. If the asset pushes up and breaks this level, they will make money on the assets. Of course, a lot of traders will even sell puts, so they are properly hedged as well to make the most of that. And let's look at JP Morgan before finishing this sector. Yeah, same story. Volume is higher back in the last week. And we look as if we could hold this pattern here. So if we come out of this channel on the upside, we could go back to these highs. Right, quick look at the other sectors. Start punching in what you want to look at. Oil, tallow, coming off that. This is a big problem for tallow. Huge problem. We keep coming off of this resistance area. And I have to say the volume looks poor as well. So it could be the market is pulling the plug on that. Be careful. This one is suffering as well. JKB, Gulf. It looks as if it could potentially come back to 220, maybe lower. Petrofact, the oil supplier, punched up into 118 and pulled back under this trend line, but the volume is higher. So I'm happy with that. You might still find this coming into 105, 108, possibly even lower, who knows. But I'm sitting tight in this one and hoping that works. Let's take that off. Yeah, so liking that on 88E. 88E, if you're interested in penny stocks, I think this is worth a punt, because if it could still come down to 50p, but if you like taking punts on these penny stocks, this might be the time to try to get in here. Volume has improved a little bit down here, so this might be a good time to get in. Just be very careful. You've got to trade with money you can afford to lose on this. Small position, get your stop under 70p or even lower if you want to give it some wiggle room, but trade it on the basis that you could lose it, and if you win, your quid's in. If you win, your quid's in. That's good, isn't it? Right, commodities. Man Group is now struggling at 240. It's been on a really nice run. This needs a pullback, so you could find it coming back into the 220 area. It could just turn around and close higher and run. So the volume has been good up till now, but obviously it's pausing at the very least. TPI cap. Now, this is a bullish consolidation. This little dip here today might be it. I was hoping for a deeper pullback, but this may be it. If that starts closing higher and higher volume, then that's heading for 170 plus. I want a deeper pullback. Gem Diamonds is good. Very shallow pullbacks. Let's look at some miners. Good old Pan-African. Might well pull back. Struggling with volume up here. That might well need a pullback. Centamin. It's building. Might come and see 90 again. Hochschild. Now this is beginning to move out on volume. Some US silver miner. This is the pullback area for 55 as we speak. This market is obviously still open. HL struggling. I would leave that and see if that comes lower. Right, what else? What have you punched in? Let's have a look. EasyJet, yeah, okay. Griffin, right, let's look at Griffin. Yeah, I've got Griffin on my list here. Wow, it's a lovely stock. The volume continues to come in on this. Decent volume back down here early March, and the pullbacks are, so we gap up, we fill the gap on the 1st of April, and here we are having filled the gap, we are higher. So it looks as if that can continue. The volume is picking up. So it looks good. Thanks for that, Yonja. I will just come to that. Before I look at that, I'll just have a look at a couple of other areas. Basic materials. We didn't look at Elementis, did we? This pullback today on 118 may be it as well. I would ideally like a lower number in that Elm, but I think that may be it as well. Energy we've looked at. Rolls-Royce. This looks good here. I think Rolls-Royce, judging by the volume and the way we're holding this main 25th of March bar, I think this is going to push up from here. So I'm liking Rolls. My favourite stocks at the moment are Rolls, Barclays. What was the other one? There's my notes. Hang on, let's just pick up my notes. Okay. Oh, I know what it was. Yeah, I got it. The other one. Yes, I think Rolls-Royce is picking up. I think I was looking at the retail sector today and I came across this. Good old Next. I think this is put a buy signal in on Friday. I think this is a reversal here. Volume picking up. New low in the range, higher close. So I think this is a buy at 58.60, 58.50, 58.60. And I think that is a good one. So let me just see if I can. No, it's okay. I think that's reversal. ASOS is got earnings tomorrow. That's poor, and Boo I don't think is doing it still. ASOS is really struggling. It's on this trend line support with earnings tomorrow, and volume's rubbish. Boo I think is the same. Yeah, struggling. Right, let's go to your comments. IAG. Yeah, that looks like a buy signal. That's similar to the setup on Next. I do not like this sector. I do not like this stock. It's not for me. But if you like it, I think 134, 135 is a buy. I would certainly get out quick if that goes under 128. But on the face of it, that does look like a potential. Yeah. Next, well, it's three really. Next, Rolls-Royce and Barclays are the stocks I mentioned. Let's look at what did you want to look at again? IAG, EasyJet, of course, EasyJet. Same pattern as IAG. It's come up on volume. Same comments apply to this one, but on the face of it, that does appear to be at least making an effort to pick up here. Their flights, my daughter's just booked to come back to London on EasyJet next month, and from Berlin, and she was getting returns for 35 quid each way. So they are still doing very competitive rates. TUI, yes, that makes sense to look at TUI. I thought TUI was on this list of mine. It's not. Okay. Bye. Same pattern as the airlines. A feeble holding pattern with a lot to do. So whichever way we come out of that triangle, that apex is potentially going to be the direction for the coming days and weeks. Jet 2. I've never been a big fan of airlines. Of all the airlines, that's better. That's had a good couple of days on volume. So if EasyJet and IAG can follow that, it could join the company of this Jet 2. Are you in this, Andy? No, okay. But that is ahead of IAG. You're looking at TUI, okay. Yeah, I mean, there is this potential bubble of demand coming through for anything to do with travel. So yeah, I can see why you guys are interested in it. Royal Mail Group. Before I forget, let's look at RMG. I don't think it's doing anything yet. That's better, you know. That's picked up. That could be coming off of this level. The volume is improving. We're above this blue zone. That could be about to pop up. Let me make a note of this. Bear with me one moment. I mean, cyclically, we are due to hold up into May anyway, April, May anyway. WH Smith. I never remember what ticker is for that because I don't like the stock. Yeah, that's we've got this. We're seeing this. You tend to find that, don't you? Once you get one pattern, you tend to find it across all the main stocks. Well, if that can come out of here, if that can close above 15, then that is definitely a goer. That really looks like a goer to me. If we can sustain this and get above that 15. Right, let's look at your brokers. Why have I not got much data on this? I must have the wrong one. My G group. There's very little data on it. That's weird. Why? I appear to have the right one. All right, well, let's look at, okay. Well, volumes are picking up. I don't know why I've got so little data on it. No, I think it was, I didn't think it was. No, it's, oh, it is, silly me. Thank you, thank you. Well, where, that's the only reasonable explanation, isn't it? Why is it not showing me the, oh, well, you get the idea. It's judging by that contract, it is picking up. CM, is this the CMC group? Right. CMC markets, isn't it? They've been on a good run, haven't they? Wow, that's a very impressive move down here in April, early April. Very impressive. So, and we've seen this pattern. I've been marking up apexes all, you know, it seems to be sort of a lot of these stocks today. So maybe these stocks, maybe there's a lot of stocks about to do something like this, or at least some of them could very easily. This is gone. This is well and truly gone. Are you in this? So this 272 was a good pullback. The volume is dropping off here. I wouldn't touch it unless that came back to 250, 260. But because I don't like buying high, but this could keep going. I mean, if that holds up here, that could so easily keep going. Very volatile. So it dropped off. That's a big drop from March. I'm looking at 30 minutes. Oh, how does, crazy, crazy, crazy. How did I manage to do that? I'm on the wrong time frame. I must have accidentally moved that time frame rather than the as I was searching for the stock. Yeah, right. Rewind. CMC, good stock. I would want to see 250. I wouldn't touch it unless I saw 250. I would not buy high. Apologies. Yeah, apologies. Right. Right. Right, let's avoid this contract business again. Rathbone. Gone. Well and truly gone. That's a lovely stock if you looked at this earlier. So it had a good run in 2020, well, up until September, pulled right back into this support. It's too far gone. I mean, it's just way, way too gone for me. This area is 14, 1450, 60, 1460 was great. I don't chase markets, and to trade this, you would have to chase it. If it pulled back to 20 and held, yeah, that's different. But wow, too far gone. Right, I've looked at all the ones you suggested. I'm just going to flick through a few others. Let's look at some let's look at Scion. I do not like this sector, as you know. This is what worries me. With stocks like this, a big dividend payer can't hold up. What hope is there for the others? So yeah, I'm concerned that stocks like this are not doing it. That to me looks lower. I think that's a bear flag on Persimmon. And yeah, I did. I'll send you, or look at the DAX at the end. Basically, it's sort of in a holding area, but could go either way. If it closes lower again tomorrow, then it's in trouble. Right, let's have a look at Facebook. Yeah, see, that's pathetic, isn't it? Absolutely pathetic. This is really not doing it at the moment. Really struggling, and the volume's not coming in. This is what concerns me about these stocks. Back to UK stuff. That's a horrible one. This was a good one. This has done it well. Sort of safe. That's gone. Let me have, what else do I've stopped looking at this one. This is AJ Bell, the pension specialist. Just not doing it. I'll keep watching it, but horrible stock at the moment. I don't think there's anything else. Have I missed anything? I wanted to look at Uber in the US. Keep a very close eye on Uber, because I think if you trade US stocks, I think I need to potentially get involved in this one. If the volume picks up here and we can close above this 32.50, I'm going to buy Uber. And have I missed anything important? Anything that you think is important? Hammerson. Okay, so that's built from 28. Retail, we've looked at retail with Next, Boo and ASOS. What other retails? Tesco, okay. I just thought of one just then. I've forgotten. Tesco's and Sainsbury's, okay. Yeah, we're gap down here. We've filled the gap and more. This 240 is building on volume. I think that is worth a shot. I'd like to see that pull back more, but it at the moment looks as if it's not. At the moment, 245 is the best that you might expect. If you're really patient, you might find that falling back, but the volume's picking up here, so the Sainsbury's looks good. Thanks for that, Andy. Let's go. Yeah, that's a good reversal. Yeah, these two are looking good. It's in that apex again, good old apex setup. But that is a short-term reversal signal, new low in this short-term range, close above on volume. I actually prefer Tesco. So I would even consider that on to add to the next Barclays and Rolls-Royce list. Results on Wednesday, right. Well, on the face of it, somebody thinks that that's, a lot of people think that's worth buying. Brilliant. Thanks for your company, guys. I will, very low attendance today, so I will, Daniel, all right, you're all right, you forced me to look at one more. I don't like Daniel. I think it's a rubbish store. But what do I know? No, well, it's closed higher, but the volumes are pathetic. I do not like the stock. I don't like the brand. I don't like the chart. Not for me. I can see why you might like it, but it's not for me. This really is the absolute last one. These are recruitment guys, is that right? Yeah. I did a lot of work in this sector. Used to work with a board of company called MSB, which was a small, not sure what, don't think it got much further than FTSE small cap. Don't like the sector, don't like the chart. It is a higher close off of that lower close, so it is a potential reversal signal. Similar, it's the same. You could almost be looking at Barclays. That is almost a carbon copy of Barclays at the moment. So I'm in Barclays, so in theory, that's got potential. Brilliant. That's me done. Do post what you're looking at and trading or considering or scanning. Yeah, thanks guys, and I'll be back on Wednesday. See you then. Cheers.